What's up, guys? Welcome to a new video. So this will sort of be the last of the consecutive days of sort of 6.3 coming out, just because we obviously have a new event coming with Mantis and that sort of Guardians of the Galaxy based theme on it. So I'll be doing a few videos that cover that and sort of explaining what Mantis does, and then what Jessica Jones does. We'll sort of have that hopefully in a video tomorrow or perhaps Wednesday, sort of morning-ish, trying to get it out as sort of early as possible so you can see what happens before the event's out. But in this one, as has been the running theme recently, we've got the 6.3.4, I believe it is, with the Iron Man Infinity War boss. So going through these fights, this quest is probably one of the easiest. I know I said that in the last video, but this one definitely takes the cake on that. It doesn't really have anything that's too challenging along the way. So the main there are no real linked nodes with this. It's just each champion has their own specific one. So for example, that Abomination had increased poison abilities, so they just do more damage. So you have to take in a poison immune champ for him, obviously. This Iron Patriot has increased regeneration rate, and then you have Superfy on you. So if he stuns you with that SP1, then it does, or SP2, they both do longer. You obviously have a longer stun on you, so it's very character specific. So for obviously Abomination, it's poisons. For this one, it's for Iron Patriot, it's stuns, and so on and so on. I would say there is no real specifics for this fight. I can't really, I would say bring in your favourite champs. Just make sure you've got a poison immune in there, and then a couple for the boss. So for example, obviously I have Null for the boss because he can sort of get armor break. Although this Iron Man is armor break immune, but like I said, going into it, there aren't many fights that are really too tricky. Each fight has sort of personal nodes on them, which are the orange ones. So for example, this Rhino is stun immune. He is a pain to fight. He is actually the hardest fight on here because obviously when he comes at you, he gets an unstoppable, so you cannot intercept. You sort of have to wait for him to throw a heavy attack or for him to perform a special attack. I did attempt this fight a few times. This was the only one that I thought was really tricky. If you get him in a corner, it gets a lot easier and is not too much to think about. So I would not, if you've got somebody like Valkyrie is a perfect counter to him, because obviously of the unstoppables, they are passive, so a Rintrah doesn't really do much for him, or a neutralized champ. But somebody who gets in there and sort of gets rid of that unstoppable is perfect. As you can see, I get hit by his SP3. I didn't play this fight very well, but at this point, I thought, it's not the end of the world. I'll take the damage on Immortal Abomination, and I'll just carry on with the quest, see where I get. While this video is going on, how have you guys found these videos? So I've seen a few comments in previous videos saying that they are quite good and they're old content. If there's anyone who is sort of experiencing this for the first time that is finding these useful, that is also perfect, and I'm glad. This won't sort of be a channel dedicated to guides and sort of counters and things like that. We'll have more MCOC content on it. I sort of want to be a mix of all content creators and sort of or MCOC content creators, and sort of take a leaf from each of their book per se, sort of like enough gameplay on to interest the sort of viewers who like gameplay, and then some news taken from from many different MCOC creators. How do you guys feel about that? Is that someone you want to see? Because I know some people can be more interested in the content side, or sort of the event quests, the side quests. I guess you could say menu sort of gameplay, and then some people will be more interested in sort of the questing and seeing the fights or the champs fighting and battlegrounds and things like that. So let me know what you guys want to see the most, and sort of if sort of the plan going forward being that it will be a lot more different content. Like I will get these guides out as I complete them. So we may have, like recently obviously you've seen sort of, I think I've gone 6.3.1 all the way up to this is 4, and then 5 might be out either tomorrow or the day after, dependent on how much I am able to film or able to record. I've already completed them, so they are ready. They're ready to come out. But I also do want to sort of get these videos out of new content coming, because obviously, when the content dries up a little bit and people are looking for things to do and questing is sort of on the menu, or Battlegrounds is on the menu, then obviously these videos are great. But sort of while the quests are hot and everyone wants to see it, it does, it is interesting to me, and I want to get those vids out so that people can see them and see sort of what tips I might have, or what bits are effective, or just to see, what other people are doing while your energy's ran out. That's why I like watching my content creators. If I'm not playing the game, then I want to see other people playing the game, because, I enjoy MCOC. So definitely let me know how you guys feel about it, and we'll get onto this fight as well. So this Groot is he's Groot. He's probably one of the worst champs in the game. Just very easy to play. Not a great defender. That SP2 is a bit of a pain. So as you can see here, I'm trying to bait it out. But again, not really something that you guys should be worried about. If you just take in your favourite sort of Mystic champ, or anyone who you like to fight Groot with, and you'll see that he's actually not too difficult, as long as you don't get hit by that SP2. Even if you do, it doesn't do an absolute ton of damage. So it's not a very tricky fight. The next fight is sort of a Hulkbuster fight, which is a little bit more tricky if you're not used to fighting him. So obviously he has these unblockable SP1 and 2s, and then he gets an unblockable buff after SP3. Don't let him hit the SP3. You'll take some block damage from SP2, but again, I wouldn't worry about that too much. As like I said, these fights aren't any of the hardest ones. You can easily take these defenders down with any of your favorite champs. Given that you've got a high enough level, like with this Hulkbuster, he will get shocks on you. So just sort of be ready for that, and maybe taking a shock immune, or Dr. Doom, or Thing is really good for that. But this fight, you do get power drained every, I think it's 30 seconds or 30 to 20 seconds. So you want to try and use those special attacks sort of as quick as you possibly can. But yeah, again, not too tricky. I wouldn't worry about these fights too much. This quest in particular is one of the easier ones. I think, it's not something to be worrying about. So like I said earlier, there will be a Mantis video out explaining her. She looks like a great champ. Looks like she has a lot of new sort of abilities and new ways to play. And then Jessica Jones also looks like somebody who's, it seems a bit of a combination, I would say, between what America Chavez was supposed to be, being that sort of aggressive play style, with maybe a Hulkbuster in there with the unblockables, and then Thing with the build-up of unstoppables. So he obviously has the rock stacks, but with her it seems a lot more like a champ who could be a tricky defender, because obviously we've it's not like we've not had many of those recently. But I wouldn't say, Mantis looks a lot better than she does. She does look like a good champ, but it's one of those like Weapon X. It looks like someone we're not going to get too much of our not get our hands on, basically. Obviously, like I said, that video will be out tomorrow. So if you want to see more information on her, then I look forward to seeing you guys in that video, because like I said, that video hopefully will be coming tomorrow, and I'll be looking to record that sort of in due time, so to try and get that up for Tuesday, just before the content comes out. Otherwise, it may be out on Wednesday. But like I said, yet to sort of decide where I'll go with these videos. Is obviously I know I don't want to sort of everyone to see this channel and think, oh, it's a walkthrough channel and it doesn't really offer much more. It's the channel. I want this sort of channel to be a bit more than that, and it can be sort of all things MCOC rather than just having the walkthroughs of the questing that some people may have already done, and then the players who are already experienced in the game or have got through these bits, they don't have to sort of watch these areas. I'll leave you guys with the rest of this fight and then rejoin you with the Iron Man fight, and we'll get into that one. So we're back with the Iron Man fight. So this fight, I sort of thought the best person to bring in is Ultron. He'll do the bleeds, although I'm pretty sure Iron Man Infinity War can be immune to bleeds with his armor up. But like I've said in every one of these videos, use that character select if you can, because it's basically a free 100% heal. It's perfect, really. It's very easy. It saves you a lot of units, which obviously everybody wants, especially with these events coming out. They're sort of not great at gifting. What have they called? I can't remember exactly what they've called it this year, but with that sort of spin on things, with needing to buy crystals to afford these Jessica Jones type champs and Wolverine Weapon X. And then we've also just had Cyber Weekend, so I know it can be a lot trickier to sort of get a build up of units. For example, I've just spent all of mine. You guys have seen in sort of my my most successful video on the channel, which is I want to thank you guys for, because I really appreciate it. But yeah, units are hard to come by, so if you can save your units, use that character select. The actual Iron Man fight, again, not too tricky. He's immune to armor break, so he does have those annoying armor ups on him. But you have to be really aware for that SP1. But I have had a lot of practice fighting Iron Man Infinity Wars. I really struggled in when I sort of came back to the game in July, June. He was a champ I'd never really seen before. And then obviously that SP1 is unblockable, so you've got to be ready for that. Or be aware that that's going to be unblockable and that it's coming. So make sure you dash back and miss that first hit, and then after that you can block his incoming projectiles, or you are able to dex them as well. As you can see, Ultron did quite a big bit of damage to him, so that ideal for me. Really pleased with that. And then so I took in Null, who was sort of my main counter for this. I think with this fight, damage over time is quite good. Warlock is good with the sort of no regeneration. I took in Null because his SP3 after that you can do quite a lot of damage when he's corrupted. Really, I would say it's sort of any champ. A Cosmic champ obviously does better because he has class advantage. However, damage over time will work if the Iron Man is not immune to them. A Warlock, a Null, Colossus could be quite useful, though I know he's a mutant. Thing would be good. Ultron, as you can see in my case. Hercules, very, very good. Gallon, very good with all his armor ups. So, there's a lot of options. Main tips for this fight: get him to SP2, or don't get Dex that SP1, don't get that shock on you, and then this fight becomes quite easy, and you can basically take him normally. I made an error there, hit him to his SP3, and it did a lot of damage. However, I managed to go in Vrincha. He did hit me again with lots of auto blocks, so that did quite a bit of damage. But in the end, we take him down. Iron Man's done. So like I said, that fight's not too tricky. It's not one of the hardest on their quest, probably one of the easiest. You've got your counters. He can't be armor breaked. But that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day. I hope to see you tomorrow in the Mantis / Jessica Jones video. See you guys later.